Welcome back, everyone, to Open Line. Glad you were with us tonight. It's Tuesday, May 5th. We are talking with Chris Johnson. He's an elder law attorney with Takacs McGinnis, who often appear on this show. And we're really just taking calls from people wanting to hear their situations. I have a couple callers here. Let's go right to the phones. Let's go to Vaughn. Hello, Vaughn.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
I'm 73, and a few years ago I did take the time and effort to put together a really good will, and I feel good about that, but I'm thinking about maybe steps 2 and 3, a few more things as I get older that might be really appropriate to look into and accomplish. Thank you.
Okay, so the question is, what would those be? He has a will, Vaughn does. What do you recommend he do next at age 73?
So at age 73, he is definitely not too late, and frankly, he's thinking the exact right thing. So there are a couple of things that I would go through. The first is what I mentioned previously with Pat. I would want to focus on his care. Are his care needs being met? Is he safe in his environment? Do we have that side of things taken care of? And once I feel satisfied that he is, his care needs are being met, he's safe in his environment, he's doing well and hopefully thriving in his environment, then the next thing I want to do is I want to tackle, does he want to avoid probate? Do we want to look at going the revocable living trust route rather than going the will route and staying out of the probate process, which just can make life a little bit easier? And then once we went and looked at the trust route as far as probate avoidance, the next thing I want to look at is, okay, how is his health now? What are we looking at projecting out in the future? Obviously, none of us have a crystal ball, but I want to make sure that he is in the best position possible for 3 years, 5 years down the road. Is he a veteran? Would he be eligible for veterans benefits? And the VA look-back period that they implemented in October of 2018 is 3 years. And so maybe there's some planning we can do now to put him in a better position. And obviously the TennCare look-back period being 5 years. Do we want to look at protecting the home, the personal residence, some other property? So there's a lot of forward thinking, but everything is going to start with how is he doing in his environment? Are his care needs being met? And then what we start doing is layering on top of that, okay, what do we need to do? What are the other steps we can take? I often say, people will come and say, well, I did this will 5, 10, 15 years ago. I mean, I've had a 30-year-old will walk into my office, and I always say it's like a car. Sometimes it'll need a tune-up, and sometimes you get to a point in your life where your wishes 20 years ago aren't your wishes now. And so that will absolutely needs to be redone and executed in a manner more consistent with what their current wishes are, and that's vitally important. And so those documents have served him well for a period of time. Maybe it's time to readdress those and say, is it really doing what you want to do? And then what else can we do to put you in the best position possible?
What about long-term care insurance? He's 73. Is that too late? Is that about right? Is it early? What about buying long-term care insurance?
So long-term care insurance is a great question. I think long-term care insurance is a great investment. Those that have purchased it at the right time are exceedingly thankful that they have it when the time comes for using it. 73, I would venture to say, is a little bit past when you want to be purchasing it. That being said, I advise every client, it never hurts to ask. It never hurts to get a quote and see what the numbers are, because I don't know what his exact financial picture is. And maybe there's a way where he can make it work that it's comfortable and it's the right thing to do for him. But I always talk about the wheelhouse that if you're in your mid-50s, early 60s, that's a great area in which you can turn on long-term care insurance and get I think a reasonable quote. And that's really what it comes down to, is to get a quote that you feel as though that you can manage moving forward. But as far as the product itself, absolutely, long-term care insurance is a great product out there.
Okay, let's go to Betty. Hello, Betty.
Hello, Betty.
Are you there, Betty?
Are you there, Betty? Are you there, Betty?
All right, I don't hear Betty. We may have lost Betty. Let's go to Linda. Hello, Linda. Linda, are you there? Oh no, we might not have Linda either.
Let's go to Linda. Hello, Linda.
So if you're on, turn down your phone, but I don't know, that might be our problem. So Betty and Linda, call us back. I am struck, Chris, that we have had several callers say they're age 73. It's very interesting to me.
I know.
We've had 3 straight callers, I think, say they're 73. One said they have no family members, and you were saying this is something we're seeing more and more, right? As people getting older, there is a larger demographic out there that have no family members, and you're seeing that even in your office, right?
We absolutely are. It is a growing demographic out there, and we refer to that demographic as the unsupported elder. And they are people that have needs out there, and they're, I mean, as simple things as that last gentleman was talking about his will. Well, you need an executor. You want to have someone appointed to be your executor. And some of the saddest conversations I have is I'm trying to get people in a very good position and execute just basic documents, powers of attorney, healthcare power of attorney, durable general power of attorney, will, and we have some key positions that need to be filled. And I ask them, who do you trust? Who are the people that you want in these positions? And they don't have an answer. And that's really scary. I mean, that is truly an unsupported elder. And then you're looking at what the alternatives are. And there are people out there who will provide fiduciary services. And you try and link them up with some of those people. And if it's a good fit, and they obviously charge for fulfilling those roles and those jobs that the client wants. But I think as a society, we're going to have to start doing a better job at how we tackle solving the problems of that segment of our society, because they're growing and they deserve and need help. And we need to find a way to get resources to them and make it so that they can help take care of themselves, and that there are services out there to help them do that.
Let's go back to Linda. Are you there, Linda?
Yes,
Yes, hello. All right, go right ahead.
I'm here. I'm here.
I'm so glad. What's on your mind?
Oh, okay. I'm calling about the. I don't have Social Security retirement income. I have railroad retirement, and I'm needing to know: do I need to contact a lawyer that involves in the railroad for my? I'm 75.
So what do you mean you have railroad retirement? What does that mean? You worked in the railroad, or your husband did? What does that mean?
My husband did, and I'm getting his railroad retirement. I cannot draw my Social Security.
Okay.
Yep, and Ben, that's not an uncommon thing, Linda, that it is. Not a lot of people know about that out there, but yes, those people that worked in the railroad industry, they can have a railroad retirement, and they get it in lieu of their Social Security. And so it is one of those unique little facets. For elder law planning, no, you don't need an elder law attorney who also specializes in railroad. Those of us in the business, we're aware of what that is, how it's factored in. You see it in fact, when you fill out a VA application for a non-service connected pension, I'm sure it puzzles a lot of people, but there it is. It has a block for your Social Security pay, and then there's a block for railroad retirement. I think most people skip over it having no idea what it is, but we absolutely know what it is, and a reputable elder law attorney would. And you don't really need anything beyond that. They know how that factors in. And at the end of the day, it's not going to be handled much differently than Social Security. It's going to be a stream of income, and it's going to be factored as such.
I didn't know about that. That sounds interesting. So you would get the railroad retirement instead of Social Security? Could you get both?
Yep.
You could not get both.
You get one or the other, and you see them. I think I've seen maybe one or two in the last year. Every once in a while, one comes in, and it's just a fun little. It's just a fun little unique case. Everybody kind of has their own little twist. Everyone brings their life story. That's one of the great joys of doing elder law and estate planning, is you get to know these people and you have a conversation, because you want to know how did we get to this point? Not just, okay, where are we going to go from here, but how did we get to here? And there's stories behind all of it, and it's very fascinating. and it's a joy to get to know your clients well when you're doing all this.
I bet it is. I bet you do get to hear a lot of interesting stories. That's great. All right, we're going to take a break. If you want to call in, there's the number, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. Take a break. Be back right after this.